I would like to share with you a few images that came to me this morning. I've been thinking about how we need to let go of our attachments to the old in order to fly free. And the first image that came to me was a balloon, one of those balloons with the basket underneath that people can ride in, and how the only thing that's holding it to the earth are the ropes that tie it to the ground. These ropes are the belief systems, are the injuries. As explained in my first book, Parallel Mind, The Art of Creativity, any belief system with a sufficient history, whether your own history or that of mankind, has almost a consciousness of its own, a phantom consciousness. It has enough emotion gathered around it to almost make it real. Now you could look at us as being almost the same. We are the scouts of our higher consciousness. We've come into a very dense plane of existence with the purpose of raising our own vibration and then raising the entire vibration of the planet. When we do this, the law of resonance, which is a universal law, will then bring everything with us in terms of our creative force into a new version of 3D, one that is more connected and no longer obeying a false law of separation. But even saying that separation is false is really a misunderstanding. When we go out from our original, more complete, more whole selves into this area, it allows us to experience separation. We are an individuated consciousness with a whole set of thoughts of our own. And this is what we intended. Oneness is actually an experience that we can re-experience, but it's not what we intended when we came here. We did not intend to escape duality, but to experience duality while retaining the feeling of oneness. When we cut loose those cords, our natural being can then ascend and float free, free of the cords that attached us, free of the things that kept us in the loneliness, the exclusivity of separation. That is what our being longs to do. It longs to float free. It longs to return to a sense of oneness, especially with the higher self. And the higher self longs to welcome us back home. I believe now the best thing to do in this time period is to work on cutting loose the cords, the belief systems, the experiences, the woundings. The main wound underlying everything is feeling of abandonment. And abandonment is separation. So in order to feel support, which is the opposite of abandonment, I believe that the best way to do this is to consciously focus on those feelings of abandonment, either when they come along or if you're in a good mood, this is a good time to do it too. Focus on those feelings and then intend that they dissolve. Intend that their structure dissolve back into the implicate. Now, you could do this with a spiral that goes backwards, as I explained in another video, or you can choose any other kind of visualization. But the main thing is to have no emotional attachment to whatever it is that you're trying to dissolve, because the attachments are what keep them here. So if you have an emotion like lack when you're thinking about, say, money, which again, all of this is based upon the core concept of separation. There is no negative feeling out there that is not based on that. And I've seen that we're going to drop the lower 2/3 of the emotional scale. So those lower emotions will not be able to exist in a higher vibrational space. They simply cannot. So having an emotional attachment to an emotion or having an emotional attachment to a thought are the very things that keep it in existence and keep you tethered to the ground. So losing these thoughts or allowing them to go away without an emotion attached to it, maybe even just a blessing thought, a feeling that you're blessing them for whatever they brought to you. whatever experience they brought to you, no matter what the experience. If you deemed it negative, or if you deemed it positive, or if you deemed it in some way that you were learning from it, or maybe it was an ancestral thing that wasn't even yours. But bless it as it leaves, but know firmly that it is leaving. And then allow the opposite of the emotion. Allow it through your intention. Allow the opposite of what you were thinking to simply flow in, because the natural thing is for it to be there. The natural thing for you is to experience abundance, joy, prosperity, satisfaction, fulfillment. All these things that belong to our natural state of being, to a state of being before separation. Nature does not love a vacuum. And so as you empty yourself of the things that do not serve you, will not serve you going forward, and certainly are holding you down, bless them as they leave and allow the polar opposite of that thing to flow freely back to you, back into your life, back into your experience, back into your love. Namaste.